So here are some things.
All right, and good gloomy morning to our listeners. Hi, my name is Dylan, and this is the Some Things Podcast. Today for you, we're going to talk about some world records, we're going to talk about movie reviews, and some surprise things in the NFL. Once again, I am joined with my co-hosts.
John.
What?
And Luke.
Yeah.
It's too early for this, man. I'm already thrown for a loop.
That's what we do here on Some Things Podcast.
You're
All
thrown
we
for
do
a
is
loop.
throw lots of loops.
Yes.
It's true.
Gosh, man, I think I'm just going to go ahead and kick this one off myself. I know I usually ask you guys how your week's been. I'm sorry, my week's been just bleh. Like, we had so much overtime this week at work, and just like, man, we were like, thankfully it could have ended a lot worse. We were dreading to have to come in today, which is Saturday, by the way. That's one of the rare times we actually get to record.
And work on a weekend?
Dude, it had been, I want to say 3 weeks, if not longer, of just working overtime all through the week, coming in on weekends, just constant. No rest, man. And we were all starting to feel it. Like, all my coworkers, I was talking to them, they're just like, I'm so tired, I'm beat. Like, we were basically not necessarily working with a skeleton crew, because that would imply that it's like, just kind of stretched thin. But no, we were just dead tired. We were more like zombies. That's how it was like going through the work week, working overtime.
Sounds scary.
Yeah.
Skeletons, zombies, work on the weekends.
We're not
It's
even-
like a real.
It's almost like Halloween's
Yeah,
coming
and
up.
we're not even in October yet, and it's just haunting.
Dang.
But yeah, so that was most of my week. But I did do a few other good things throughout the week. But I'll get to those later in the entertainment portion, because they mostly relate to those.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one. My week was exhausting. So, I've never been very good at studying for tests.
Right.
And what I mean by that is I always do it the night before. I'm one of those people. So I had an exam on Tuesday for a really tough class, and I stayed up basically all night doing it. I got like 4 hours of sleep, maybe, and that's total. You know how I work when I go to Fullerton.
How are you alive right now?
I took lots of naps throughout the rest of that day,
Dang.
so I survived.
one way
But
to
now
do
I'm
it.
here, and I feel still a little bit tired,
Right. Yeah.
but very happy to be on Some Things Podcast.
That's good though. I'm glad I'm glad you were able to wake yourself up out of your what could have been a coma, because I would have been sleeping in right now, man.
Hey, you know what, guys? We're 3 for 3. My week was just as weird and long and dreadful as yours.
It's almost like this week for us has become last week's entertainment portion, where everything was just crap.
Yeah, yeah. No, like, I have not had one night, like, to just relax.
Man.
Like, okay, Thursday night, me and my fiance, we were going to just kick it and just chill, right?
For sure.
But even then, like, we still had a lot of stuff to do, and it's just been piling on. And then last night I was busy all night, and now today, right after the podcast, I'm busy all day. Like,
Yeah, no, we're again, for you listeners, we're recording this actually early morning, like I said, on a Saturday, because John's got some plans, and we want to honor him as one of our awesome. I can't even call him a guest. What do we call ourselves? Core members?
Co-host.
co-hosts, yeah.
Coasts.
Coasts.
We're coasts.
I like that. We are officially the Some Things Coasts.
Yeah.
Coasts.
Well, I mean, not the podcast, but us, ourselves.
Yeah, some things from coast to coast to coast.
Yeah. All right. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention something.
Oh, what?
Yesterday, talking about more crazy work schedules.
Right.
I worked from 5 a.m. to 1:30, and then again from 5:30 to 9:30. So I had a nice
sad.
full day of work.
Right, because you have 2 jobs, right? You have
2 jobs, yeah.
Oh man, honestly, my next check, I do think I want to come into FYE with you and just like kind of clean house, get a few Funko Pops or something. But yeah,
I thought he was a stripper at night.
I don't like stripping because I don't like taking my clothes off in front of people.
But do you like
Okay.
strips of bacon?
I do like strips of bacon.
So you're a reverse stripper then. You put your clothes on for the show.
Yes.
So you show up
Yes.
naked.
Well, no. I put them on beforehand.
Yeah, he's kind of already in his pajama pants, and then like you hear the music, the raves start kicking in, and then he's just like throwing his shirt on and everything, maybe a jacket if it's too cold. But yeah,
But speaking of bacon,
bacon.
Dylan, you have our next random topic.
Oh yeah, I do. Okay, so
Speaking
there's
of
some.
bacon.
I don't. I'm trying to think how this relates, but anyway. Okay, so there are some times where you go through, say you're scrolling through social media, and something just sticks out to you, random article, picture, whatever.
Like a strip of bacon on a
like a strip of bacon on
Cold Saturday morning.
on a cold salad. But
What?
So-
No.
Who puts a strip of bacon on a
Yeah,
cold
you put
salad?
bacon-
that's what I'm
bits.
saying. It sticks out.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway,
fair enough.
but yeah,
I
with
guess, all right.
with all that going on, so I saw an article on Facebook, and it really hit me, and it kind of made me laugh. But it was the article was an anti-vax politician came down with the chicken pox.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I don't know about you guys who are listening, but I know us here at the Something's podcast, I want to say most of us have gotten our vaccines for, whether it be, tetanus, hepatitis, whatever kind of other stuff that they have cures for. We get those, as kids and, follow up with your different updates throughout the year or whatever. But yeah, I know a lot of people are just on this whole like anti-vax thing, and it's becoming quite a situation because now what ends up happening is since people aren't getting vaccinated, it's just leaving more room for people to come down with bigger sicknesses like this. Like I think even I don't know, not smallpox. I mean, again, chickenpox. But I know there's another one that kind of broke out in Texas, like I don't know, either a month ago or a few months ago, where it's just like it's starting to become. It was something that was almost extinct, and now it's like coming back because not enough parents are vaccinating their kids.
Yeah, here's
Sorry.
well, I was gonna say here's something that confuses me about anti-vaxxers.
Mm-hmm.
I thought autism was a genetic disease.
Okay,
Genetic diseases are things that are
already in your blood, and
yeah,
your DNA. Yeah,
yeah. It should be. I thought it should be worked out before you're even born.
right.
So I don't understand how a vaccination could cause something like autism.
Yeah.
There could just be some science or pseudoscience, depending on who you ask,
Right.
that I'm missing here. But I've never been able to understand that point.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you because it's like, granted, I will say this. I remember my brother showed me this video, and it was actually broadcast on like I think ABC News or something. This I don't know if she was necessarily. I want to say she was a cheerleader for a college team, so she was somewhat well known. I wouldn't say she's full blown famous, but she got a flu shot. And apparently there's like this 1 in a million, a billion chance. But apparently she I'd have to follow up on the story to like go look it up again. But she got her flu shot and it like jacked her up. Like she can't really talk straight. Like the only way she can be somewhat normal is if she's running backwards. If she tries walking straight or running straight, I think she can still run, but it's like, yeah, if she's just walking straight, like she has a limp and everything. And I'm not making fun of her for that, but it's just like something with the flu shot she got like was just wrong and jacked her up. And so I'll be honest, I don't get my flu shots regularly just because of that 1%. But I mean, like for vaccines, it's like that's something different. I would think.
Let's look at the bright side. If there's ever a cheerleading competition where they have to do the routine in reverse,
Oh no.
she'd win first prize.
Well, wait a minute. A flu shot is a flu vaccination, isn't it?
Yeah, but it gives you the flu.
That's what all
So you
vaccines
can fight.
are.
I know.
Right.
I don't get the flu shot.
That's
either.
the
I'm
definition of a
Billy.
vaccine, guys.
Well,
No, okay.
again, I just flu shots specifically. I'll acknowledge that they are vaccines still. I don't get those. If there's something else that comes out that's like, oh hey, we have a vaccine for this, like yeah, I'll sign me up, like whatever.
Yeah.
I'm already up to date on my shots, so I think I'm good.
I'm on board with most vaccines. The flu shot's an exception.
Yeah.
I think it's useless. At me.
Yeah, John is in charge of our Twitter page, so if you want to get at the somethings, it's just somethings pod, correct?
Yes, something's pod.
Follow us on the
Something's
socials.
pod. Make sure, go on there. John loves using Twitter, so make sure you leave lots of comments.
Twonker.
And add him. And
Yeah, I checked it last night. We have no followers yet, and it's kind of upsetting.
no
So-
followers on Twitter?
Yeah, so y'all need to go on Twitter and follow the Something's Pod page.
Get with it.
Yeah, I will say I think as far as our socials go, I think Luke's kind of beating us with the Instagram stuff because even on Facebook, I mean, I try to post up regularly like, oh hey, I'm going to see this movie, I'm going to do this, but I don't think I'm really increasing the number of people that are following us.
Yeah, see,
So-
we're a team here on the Some Things podcast. We each take our own social media page. So I'm running the Instagram. Dylan's got the Facebook. John has the Twitter. I think it's not really me. It's just easier to get followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is like, I don't know. I think people are more likely to search hashtags on Instagram than they are on Twitter or Facebook.
Right.
Definitely not on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I never
Twitter
even
would be
use
debatable.
hashtags
I don't
on
know.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, Twitter, like you put a hashtag on something if it's a public page. Like I know we're getting likes from like random people. They're still not following the Instagram page, but like the Steve Irwin, Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers
Right, okay.
post. There's like random people liking that just because it was a a
Right.
funny
They
meme, yeah.
probably didn't even read the caption. They're just like, oh, look, it's the Trinity and wholesomeness. And then they just stopped there. They just saw the picture and went on with their life.
Yeah. So it's easier on Instagram, I think.
People are jerks.
Yeah.
That's what it, no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, no. They
Follow us,
us.
or the podcast will stop.
Hey.
No.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Don't threaten that.
No, we won't stop. We will keep running this marathon until one of us. No,
Until I'm
even
out of
after
breath.
one of us dies. I mean,
I've never died in my life.
I think Dylan's
Hey,
gonna
that's-
die first.
I'll take you up on that bet.
You should.
I'll bet on myself to die. That sounds kind of bad.
I would be disappointed if I didn't outlive Dylan.
I would too. You're younger than me by what? At least 5 years.
How old are you? Like 30?
27.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
You're 27. Interesting.
Yeah. And you guys are both the youngins of the group of the coasts.
I'm
Yeah,
not
John
that
is
much
so
younger
young.
than you though. I'm 24. I'll be 25 in May.
That's
I'm
like
not
10
that
years.
much younger than you.
You're what? 22.
Yeah.
John bridges the gap.
My voice cracked there. That was embarrassing.
You're 22.
You're 22.
Oh man. All right.
What else do we have?
Yeah, other things on the docket. Usually I don't talk about it a lot, but I am a gamer. I would consider myself one. It's hard to fit into my schedule when I'm trying to do workouts, still lose weight, and working overtime especially. But in my leisurely time, I do like to try to pick up the controllers and go at it. And that being said, one of the games I'm excited for that's actually coming out is Doom Eternal. It comes out, I believe, in November. I think it's around Thanksgiving. And I bought the collector's edition, so I'm like super excited and stoked for it. But that then led me on a bunny trail of like, you know what? What are your guys' favorite video games?
Did you say Doomey Turtle?
Doomy Turtle. I want that.
is a Doomey Turtle?
Make
It's a
that,
very sad turtle.
make that game happen. But
Very sad yet dangerous.
no, Doom Eternal is
Oh.
based on the franchise Doom. It's going to be the latest installment of the series, but it's basically a space marine who has to like fight through hordes of demons and hell and everything because like a space station on Mars like accidentally did some research and opened a portal to hell, and so it's pretty crazy.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, it's a lot of horrific. It's horrifying, killing and stuff. But like, so don't play it if you're squeamish or you get nightmares easy. But yeah, it's a fun action packed game.
You know the best part about that?
What's that?
All the people in, we'll say, real life in that video game, all the people back on Earth probably don't even believe it. Like,
I
we
don't
have
know.
people who still don't believe we landed on the moon. Can you imagine if we, like, opened up a portal to hell on Mars?
Right.
I don't think so.
Everyone down on Earth. This is just a conspiracy. All these videos are fake. That guy's not really dead. He didn't really get his head bit off. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's pretty crazy. Like, I do like the lore and mythos behind it. But if I'm talking just straight favorite video games, Doom's up there. I think I would still just go for Halo. Like, I'll be basic like that. But
That was gonna be mine.
yeah, dude, I remember. I think what kind of helped it for me too was that like with Halo specifically, it was one of the games that I could actually beat my big brother in, like because everything else that's like he'd have me in racing games, he'd have me in fighting games. First person shooters, I'm like, ooh, that's my thing, man. That's my jam. And like even the guy who, my friend Gabe, who brought not Gabe Gilman, but my friend back from like elementary, junior high, high school, he's the one who got me into Halo. Like started showing me like Red versus Blue and stuff like that. And then he got me into the Halo game. And then I started playing with him, and I'm like trying to learn the controls, and then I just own him. Like it just
Yeah.
it's so great. Like the students surpass the master, but I just the story, same thing with that one, the plot, how everything plays out. Now, granted, I'm not saying they haven't had some bad eggs here and there with the video game franchise, but overall Halo is still my number one.
I didn't like Halo 3. It's the worst one, in my opinion. Well, not the worst.
No, I mean there's still Halo 4 and 5 to take that title.
Yeah. And Wars, I didn't like the computer type version.
Yeah, I was
I
hoping.
tried to get into it.
Yeah, I don't like that type of it's not a platformer, but that type of gameplay. I definitely like more first person shooter, like in the pit of it all.
I played Halo Reach.
That's
Yeah.
one actually my favorite one.
Yeah,
That's good, yeah.
I tried giving him and his brother the games that way they could play through it and like get the backstory on Halo, and I don't think they still completed one campaign yet.
I'll tell you what, I completed one campaign.
Just Reach,
but
though?
they were so long. No, I finished all of Reach.
Okay,
I had a great time playing Reach. Then I went back to Halo 1, and just the levels were so long. Like, you had to invest like 45 minutes just to complete one level. And I
Dude,
was
yeah,
like,
just do one level a day.
yeah.
I didn't even want to do 45 minutes, honestly.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so
I'm
for you
a-
listeners, Luke is not a video game
I'm a
person.
short spurt gamer for the most part. If I'm playing a video game, it's like 30 minutes. And
Well,
I'm like,
So
okay,
you're
I'm
good for like Mario Kart.
I love Mario Kart.
So is that your favorite than Mario Kart?
I'll tell you, I've always been a Wii person. A Wii person. Nintendo Wii.
The tallest
You're
one
not
here, he's
short.
a Wii person.
A Nintendo Wii. I know it's not all that popular. I know that like Nintendo even lost a little bit of its legitimacy after the Wii and the Wii U. But I loved the Nintendo Wii. I loved Mario Kart. I loved Super Mario Brothers. I loved the Wii Sports. I was a big fan of Wii. If I had to choose,
No, you're good. You're good.
Wow.
Sorry, just
if I had to choose my favorite out of all of those, it would probably be Mario Kart, just because you can get the most out of that game. Super Mario Brothers is pretty awesome too, though.
yeah. So you like just like a quick pick up play party game sort of type.
Yeah. I enjoy playing if there's more people. Like if we're playing Halo with 4 players,
Right.
I can play for an hour.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Nintendo games. It's more for like playing with your friends, I think. So I was able to play those a little bit longer. But yeah, I've never been too big of a gamer other than that.
Right. Yeah, and here's what's weird to me though is like I know you say like you don't like playing Halo because it's too long or whatever, the levels are just too drawn
In the
out for you.
earlier games, at least, yeah.
Right, but it's just like I'm starting to wonder if it's just maybe a bad pilot at the wheel because
It could have been, yeah. Well, that first level in Halo is basically a maze.
Which Halo?
Halo 1.
Halo 1. So that's when you're escaping the Pillar of Autumn because it's on fire and everything.
yeah.
But yeah, under attack, I guess. But
That one
I
was
don't know.
annoying. I did hate that level.
Yeah.
Like I understand. I think it's kind of hard for someone who doesn't play a lot of first person shooters to then get into one because there's a little bit of like you have to somewhat know where you're going in like the next area to like keep the level progressing. I feel like they made it somewhat simple, but again, maybe we gotta get together. And we just gotta play through it, man.
Maybe so. Like I said, Halo Reach, I played through the campaign on that multiple times.
Right. That was a great game. I love that one.
Yeah.
Noble 6.
Best
Made me cry
Halo.
every time. But yeah. And speaking of games, Luke, I think me and you actually have a couple to bring back to this podcast.
Yes.
What?
Something old, something new. Wait,
Yes.
is yours new?
Something.
It is new.
Yeah, something
good
old,
call.
something new.
Something
on
borrowed,
some
something
things.
blue.
And John's got rhymes all the time.
No, that's like a marriage thing.
Oh.
Oh, because you're getting married.
Dylan should
Oh,
know
you're
what
getting
that is.
married?
You're married.
I'm married?
Yeah, right? To Ashton Kutcher.
There is a ring on my finger.
My sister is Ashton Kutcher? Wow.
I like Ashton Kutcher. I don't know if he'd ever be one that I'd ever call sexy.
Okay, well, whatever guy you call sexy, that's who I meant to say.
All right.
So we know Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, there you go.
Idris Elba. I mean, The Rock, I don't know. He's
Too bulky for you, huh?
maybe a little too bold. Like, again, the dude's got amazing physique. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know. Maybe just too much for me.
Even his head has muscles.
Flexes that brain.
Yeah.
All right. So, my new game. I know it's been a while. We haven't done a Am I the Butthole story yet or whatever for a while, and we haven't forgot about it. Obviously, I'm bringing it up now. But in the meantime, my wife and I discovered a new game that we could play, and you guys probably are familiar with, or like you see posts on Facebook where they talk about, put up a movie description but describe it horribly, and then someone has
Yes.
to try to guess what the game
love
or what the
those.
movie is. So I got a handful for us. Some of these you may have heard, some of them maybe not, but we'll see where it goes. So, first one. A father is widowed when a serial killer murders his wife and all but one of his children. Years later, after his last, disabled son is lost in a boating accident at sea. A mentally challenged woman has to help him in hopes of finding his son.
Repeat it slowly.
I know, it's a long one, so okay. A father is widowed when a serial killer murders his wife and all but one of his children. Years later, after his last, disabled son is lost in a boating accident at sea. A mentally challenged woman is his only hope of finding him.
I've got it. I'm going to ruin it for you, John. It's Finding Nemo.
It is Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah. It's Finding
Yes.
Nemo.
Yeah, the really long descriptive ones, I'm like, okay, this one should be good. All right, number 2. And good job, you guys are 1 for 1. All right. A professional athlete develops Stockholm Syndrome after the residents of a small town hold him against his will.
What is Stockholm Syndrome?
It's where, like, you...
Say you're in like a hostage and you start actually like sympathizing for your
Oh, read it
hostage
again.
takers.
I'll use that context.
A professional athlete develops Stockholm Syndrome after residents of a small town hold him against his will.
I got it.
Dude, I'm really bad at these.
I want to hear you guess it.
Is it that movie with the fat guy who got adopted as a football player and
Do you think
The Blind
the
Side?
Blind Side with
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock? No, it's not that.
No.
It's definitely not that. It's Cars.
It is Cars. Man, Luke's nailing it.
Cars.
I got to you know what? Next week, or if we do this, I'm not doing Disney
Is
movies
he an
anymore.
athlete though?
I mean, he was a
In
he
Cars,
was a,
he
In
is,
cars,
yeah.
yeah, he's a runner.
he's a race
Yeah.
car driver. I mean, he's literally the race car, but
I guess.
however you break it down.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, this one might be a little more difficult. Man kills a foreign contractor, takes his vehicle, assumes his identity, gets arrested, gets broken out, and then relocates outside of U.S. jurisdiction.
Is it animated?
No, I'll give you that hint.
Who didn't hurt to ask?
Go for it, John. I think I have it.
Say it one more time.
Man kills a foreign contractor, takes his vehicle, assumes his identity, gets arrested, gets broken out, and then relocates outside of U.S. jurisdiction. Why do I keep messing that up?
I definitely know it.
Dude, I don't know any of these. I'm sorry. I'm like useless in this game.
It's the Santa Claus.
My goodness.
Yeah!
Gosh, we really... Okay, note to self. Find harder ones for Luke. He's just too much with this.
Dude, these are hard for me.
No.
There's no balance.
No, I'm right. Because Sarah was the one reading these to me first off, and I was having the same struggle. I'm just like, how? What? Oh, now I get it. Like, it's just, it would always hit you after you hear the
Yeah,
title.
my brain's just not that creative.
Especially this early in the morning, but Luke's on it. We're only 4 hours asleep. All right, number 4. A diverse group of people hold an intervention to keep a single dad from snapping after his daughter dies.
That's pretty vague. Shoot.
Say it again.
A diverse group of people hold an intervention to keep a single dad from snapping after his daughter dies.
Animated?
No.
Oh,
I don't know if I know this one.
me neither.
Okay, so I think I have John tapping out. Luke, do you tap out?
I'm going to have to tap out on this one.
Infinity War.
Wow. Say it one more time.
A diverse group of people hold an intervention to keep a single dad from snapping
Oh my
after his daughter
goodness.
dies.
An intervention. Okay.
Intervention.
All right, last one.
They did intervene.
All right. Driver wrecks Ford.
What?
Driver wrecks Ford.
Ooh, I got it.
I don't know.
Adam Driver wrecks Harrison Ford in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Woohoo! I like this game.
He came back 4 out of 5. Not bad.
0 out of 0. Or 0 out of 5.
You got, no, I think you got the first one.
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
I just agreed with him.
Oh, half point.
He did agree with me.
Yep. All right. Well, that's my game.
I like that game.
I thought it would be a lot more challenging. Luke's just like, oh, got this, got that, got that. He's just
The Infinity War one was tough.
what's
That game made me feel really stupid.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't the game. It was me.
You're not alone in that, John. All right. So now
Not alone in my stupidity.
Luke's bringing back another cult favorite.
Yeah, this is a throwback to our previous episodes, which I mean we're only going like 6 episodes back.
I mean, we're double digits
We're a
though.
young,
So.
Oh, we should mention
Yeah.
this is episode 10, guys. Woohoo! Double digits, we made it. So look forward. We're thinking about bringing on maybe some guests in the future.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
stay tuned. Maybe somebody you know will be featured.
Yeah.
Might bring my dog on as a guest.
Yeah, when I
With
know,
peanut butter.
I know a handful of very interesting frogs.
There you go.
So
Okay.
we'll see who we bring on. But anyway, we're gonna bring back an old favorite game.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna do some guess the world record.
Woo! Love this one. Charge.
All right, so you know how this works.
Uh-huh.
I give you the answer, like the number or whatever
Right.
of the record. You have to tell me what the record is.
Okay.
So let's start it off now. We're gonna go with 83 years old. Is this A, the oldest professional club DJ? B, the youngest centenarian? Or C, the oldest PGA tournament winner?
What is a centenarian?
That's what confused me too.
That's a person who's 100 years old or older.
Okay, so it's definitely not that.
Yeah, yeah, look. Okay, yeah, we got a 50-50 shot on this.
You don't think there's any 83-year-old centenarians out there?
Nah. I'm glad we asked for clarification on that.
I would have
but-
guessed that just because it sounded odd.
I think I'm going to jump on the DJ train.
The other one was PGA Tour winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So golf or DJ, which do you think?
Well, the DJ one is more crazy, but the golf one makes more sense.
So you're more of like an Arnold Palmer.
I'm gonna go with the golf one.
Oh shoot, it is Arnold Palmer, isn't it?
No, you were right, Dylan. The club DJ, yeah. It's like this little like Asian grandma.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
great,
No,
yeah.
it's Stanley's cameo in Deadpool.
It's funny. He said Asian grandma. It's like, what if it's actually Dead Mouse and she just wears the helmet all the time?
Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
Dude, the whole time she's been just blazing it up.
Wow. That would be mind blowing.
That would be.
All right, so let's move on to number 2.
Woohoo!
The answer for this one is 9.
9.
Any
not
guesses?
the German. No, just 9.
9. Any guesses yet, or do you want me to give you the
I would
option?
like
The
an
age
option.
that Dylan stopped wetting the bed.
Oh!
Honestly, I think you'd be wrong on that.
I was gonna
Just
say
being
like
honest.
I had a slip up later in life.
Yeah.
Well, slip ups are one thing, but like,
You're talking about like every.
Those stupid bathroom dreams, man.
I wasn't like every night wetting the bed, okay? But again,
Oh, okay, we'll see
there,
that.
like Luke said, there was probably at least one more after that.
well, yeah,
also.
I don't
yeah.
count that.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone's done that.
Well, yeah, Dylan, you were probably a solid 9.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
so what are the options for this answer?
Is it the fastest in miles per hour slug on the planet?
Turbo.
Fewest blinks in 1 hour?
Blinks?
Yeah,
Okay.
like where you close your eyes.
I
and
thought,
open
well, I was
them
just
again.
clarifying. I thought you said blanks, and I'm like,
No,
blank
blinks.
What? Okay.
Fewest blinks in an hour,
Okay.
or most powdered donuts eaten in 3 minutes.
Oh shoot! Wait.
Wow.
Okay.
It's got to be the second or third one.
Well, yeah, because you said you watched Robin Big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say he did a powdered donut challenge, and I can't remember what the number was that he finished with.
Oh, that's true.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I'm leaning towards either. I'm throwing the snail out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How many
but-
minutes did he do it in? And it's a
I don't-
slug. What's wrong with you?
Wait. So what was the donut one again?
Most powdered donuts eaten in 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
You want to be donut bros and go for the donut?
You know what? Yeah, we'll go in together.
Ooh, donut
Let's do it
bros.
for big.
They're teaming up on this one
And they were both wrong.
for positive results.
That's
right. You guys are doing better than you have before.
What? Okay, is it actually big that holds the record?
I
or-
don't know. I didn't look that
Okay,
far. into it.
okay. Since the question's already answered, I'm going to do a quick look. Go ahead and go to your
Yeah,
next
I'll
section.
go on to the next one. This next one is 128.
128.
Okay.
Maybe this one is the age that Dylan will stop wetting the bed.
Maybe.
Yeah, at least he'll be a Centaurian.
Actually, at that age, he'll probably start wetting the bed again.
Yeah,
Let's be
or my
honest.
diaper. I mean, come on now.
Okay,
It
so
depends.
oh wow, is this one A, fewest licks to reach the center of a Tootsie Pop? B, most jump rope skips by a dog? Or C, tallest in feet globe statue?
Globe statue. The one at Universal, or if they have another bigger one.
Sorry.
No, wait. That globe's not 128 feet tall.
Can you read the answers again? I did find the answer for the donut thing. I'll get to that later. But what are the answers for this one again? Or yeah,
So 128.
128.
Is it A, the fewest licks to reach the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Lick and pop,
B, the most jump rope skips by a dog?
jump rope.
Or C, the tallest globe statue? We're talking about feet.
What kind of dog? Because that would determine how long they can jump.
Like the standard kind.
The standard kind.
I mean, I've seen a lot of
the
videos
best
where
thing
it's
you
like,
got for me.
it's like smaller dogs that typically do it. I don't think you really see too many, like, you're not going to see a mastiff because there wouldn't be enough room in the jump rope, I don't think. Like because if you're trying to jump rope with the dog,
But
like,
you also,
unless it's a long rope,
you
I
also
guess.
wouldn't see a chihuahua do it because if the rope hit it, the dog would go flying.
RKO out of nowhere.
That's tough.
I think I will go for the Tootsie Pops just because that's one of my favorite childhood candies. Like, again, I'm basing this off
I'm a s-
nothing.
I'm gonna stick with the globe.
Okay. John, you're right.
Hey!
Yeah, it is the globe. Dylan, didn't the owl do it in like 3 licks or 1?
Okay, but like that's
It's like a 1, a 2.
he's an animated character. I thought we were talking about real life.
I don't know. Does anybody know how many licks it takes to get to the center
I've
of the Tootsie
seen
Pop?
They had to have
videos
averaged
of
that out.
people doing that before, and
Yeah.
it always varies.
Yeah.
It always varies.
never-
I
Consistent.
bet 128 is like probably way less than actually. It's probably closer to 1,000.
Yeah, dude, 128.
But okay, so back to the powdered donuts thing. It wasn't big, sadly. I think he has the record for maybe in a minute. Maybe that's what it is, and I got confused. But most powdered donuts eaten in 3 minutes is 9, and was achieved by Kevin quote, LA Beast Strahl, Strahle.
He has a nickname for eating powdered donuts.
Yeah.
LA Beast.
I think he's a Raider fan too, because his shirt says LA Beast and it has like the little Raider sword,
Oh my
the logo
goodness.
emblem. But yeah, anyway.
Well, good for you, Kevin. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Kevin.
Kudos.
He's so like hardcore for a donut guy.
He's hard, he's
But he's not
he
Henry.
seems too hardcore to be named Kevin. Kevin's not intimidating at all.
All right.
Kevin's like that neighbor who never gets any sun.
Never gets any sun. Walks out every now and then to like throw out some trash, and you're like, he is white.
Yeah.
He was a white guy too.
You're just
Yeah.
like shaking your head.
Wasn't pale,
there,
though, I
There
mean.
goes Kevin.
All right.
You ready for the next one?
Oh, yeah.
As I'll ever be.
4,348. This is A, the largest collection of clown-related items.
Oh my gosh.
B, most calories consumed in one sitting by a cat. Or C, the oldest selfie, oldest in years.
I think I'm gonna go with A. What was the first one again? No, I mean I know that's
Whatever
where
A is.
I know that's where I want to go. I just don't remember what it
Largest
was.
collection of clown-related items.
Yeah, clown thing. Because I mean, like, I think the cat would be my next guess, but it just seems like, man, if a cat's eating that much, they're dead at calorie 3,000.
I don't know, man.
But-
There's some pretty big cats.
Even still, though, in one sitting, that's the thing.
I should
4,000
clarify,
calories,
it's
that's
a
easy.
domestic cat.
So yeah, it's a house cat. It's not like a big Maine Coon or a bobcat.
I'm going to the cat calories.
And then I don't think it's no way it's the oldest selfie. It would have been younger than that.
Cat
4,000.
Well, it doesn't have to be like a photograph.
It's gonna be. I don't like his face right
so
now.
wait, is it it'd be
Okay,
like
so
a
what's the
portrait
answer?
painting
he,
then?
He guessed cat. I guessed the first thing again.
If it's the selfie, we're gonna fight because that's dumb.
It's the dang selfie.
No, it's the clowns. Clown-related items.
All right.
Yeah, I saw a picture of this. This guy's house was filled with clown items.
Man,
I can't imagine sleeping there.
no, it's like, yeah, I don't hate clowns, but yeah, even when you just wake up in the middle of the night and you see like your coat dangling on a light or something, you freak out because you think something's staring at you. Let alone seeing a clown face over your bed. You know?
I always just think,
John-
who's stealing my coat?
John, you were close. You know that cat from the meme?
Yeah.
That's sitting at the table? He ate like 4,100 calories.
Oh, wow.
So it was close, but yeah,
right.
Dylan is right on this one.
Way to go, Dylan. Good job.
Yay.
Proud of
So
you.
we got one more for you guys.
All right,
This one, 14 feet, 6.33 inches.
the biggest snake.
Final answer?
I don't even know what the answers are.
Okay, is this A, largest toothpick,
Oh gosh.
B, largest knitting needles, or C, largest catheter?
I'm going for the needles because I hope to God Almighty the catheter isn't the one. I'm gonna go with the knitting needles. God, the catheter is just gonna get me in pain the rest of the episode.
I'm gonna go with catheter because what if it's used for an animal? Because they have MRIs at zoos, like the MRI machines that are huge.
What
They
animal
also use
needs
them for
that big
fat-
of a
They also
catheter?
use them for fat people.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, no, like an elephant maybe.
14 feet? That's bigger than this room.
A whale penis, a dork.
Oh,
That's the throwaway answer. What?
I don't
That's
know, man. It
obviously
sounds
wrong.
interesting.
well, he
It
guessed it.
sounds
What's the
interesting.
answer?
What the heck?
What's the-
it's
You don't even,
I forgot. I just put the paper
oh
down.
my
Hold on.
goodness.
It's the catheter. There we go. Moving on.
It's the knitting needles.
Boom.
The catheter.
I got 4 out of 5.
The poor elephant standing there with this like 14-foot long.
Dude, you'd have to get like, if it's that big, you have to get like one of those Olympic runners who's doing the pole vault to just get a running
I
start.
don't get it. What do they like fold it like in half a couple times?
Maybe it's like the straws that like stretch. You know what I mean?
So it's
bendy
expanding?
straw. It's like a bendy straw. It's like.
But it's got to be sealable. If it's a catheter, it can't have like cracks and creases. It's got to be able to get the stuff out.
It's still a tube.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I just like because I'm thinking of like maybe I'm thinking of more like a police baton more than a
No.
John, your answers blow my mind. Like the first time we did this, and you guessed that somebody was walking around with no rib cage at
I
all.
say that?
Yeah, it was like the first.
Oh man,
It was like
probably
the.
sounded so dumb.
I gave you the name. I gave you the name, and I gave a few answers, and one of the answers was he holds the record for the first full rib cage removal, and you're like, oh, I've heard of that. I think that's the one.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I did hear of that at the time.
So now you're on record believing that there's somebody walking around with no rib cage at all, and
A 14-foot
they're probably
catheter.
dragging behind them a 14-foot catheter.
Hold on.
This
I
sounds
didn't
like-
say the catheter that's 14 feet belonged to a person.
It just sounds like a horror movie waiting to happen. A guy with no ribs who can just like get all bendy and like come at you through the mailbox with a catheter.
Catheter didn't belong to a human. It belongs to an animal.
Here's Jimmy.
We got to keep doing world records just to see what John is going to come up with next.
You're the one who come up with the answer,
Yeah,
not me.
technically you did put that as an answer. So
true.
but it's just he happened to guess it.
You're not supposed to guess that one. That was.
What do you mean? It's an option. How can you say I'm not supposed to?
It's like nobody guessed that 83 years old was the youngest centenarian.
We would have if you didn't tell us what it was.
I was hoping that would happen.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that being said, as we are entertaining all of our lovely listeners at home, I think it's time for us to now break it down to the entertainment portion of the podcast. Still waiting on the entertainment
It
jingle.
sounded better the first time.
Yeah, that
we
one
ever
wasn't
did
that good. Let's try again. One more time. Ready, go.
The entertainment portion of the podcast. All right.
That was much better.
It was better.
A chorus of heavenly angels once again. All right.
Two of them.
Starting out with a little bit of a downer, but I promise things will get better. We did get informed, or we got breaking news. No, I think it was within the last day or two. Robert Garrison, an actor from the Karate Kid franchise, the original, has passed away and died at, I believe, age 58 or 59. When I first saw the article, I thought it was like, oh man, was this one of like the bigger actors? Was this like the leader of Cobra Kai? Was this? I mean, I know it wasn't Ralph Macchio because I know he's the good guy.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi, I believe, is already dead.
At only 59 years old, yeah.
No, he died years ago, I believe. But yeah, no. So apparently, this actor, and again, I'm not demeaning him in any way, or not trying to. Hopefully, that's not coming across. He was on Cobra Kai's side. He was one of the guys who worked with the evil henchmen or whatever you want to call him in that movie.
Henchmen, they're children.
I mean, henchmen. They still went out and beat people up. I mean, what else would you call them? But anyway, he was one of the actors on that side. So again, tragic news for him and his family. Just keep them in your thoughts, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, because 58 and 59, I mean, that's still pretty young.
It is, yeah.
Usually you expect people to get maybe to like I'll accept a death at 70 if it's just old age kind of thing, but yeah, that's young.
Well, talking about Mr. Miyagi, I think he was probably older than 59 when they made the movie.
Yeah,
he was pretty old.
He was up there. And
Yeah.
again, like I said, I want to say he died. I want to say into his 70s, I believe. But let's see, Mr. Miyagi. Nope, I'm spelling it wrong. All right, we'll look at it later. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah,
That's okay. We forgive you, Dylan.
The power of
I don't
the
forgive me
internet.
though. All right, so oh gosh, this is kind of ironic, and maybe I did not plan this, but the next thing I'm getting into as I'm looking at our list here for topics, I was gonna do a movie review on The Dead Don't Die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did not plan that. I
In all
apologize.
fairness, he wasn't dead when he died.
This is true.
Fair.
But
He's coming back for the dojo.
yeah, so this is one of the movies that recently got released on Blu-ray and DVD, and there's another movie I'll be reviewing as well. It has Bill Murray, awesome, Selena Gomez, has Tilda Swinton, Steve Buscemi, and even let's see, you got Iggy Pop, Danny Glover, and Adam Driver. We'd mentioned him earlier for our little game challenge.
Oh, yeah.
He's in this movie, and so I'd like to say this is a pretty good movie. If you want to go buy it, I would definitely recommend it. But with the caveat of this is a dry humor movie. You don't expect. I know Bill Murray's in it, and he can obviously be funny. He's a great comedic actor. It's not a slapstick. Don't go into this movie thinking like, oh man, there's gonna be just like funny things, slipping on banana peels and everything. Like, no, it's a dry humor movie, but it does involve, again, Bill Murray, Adam Driver as like two sheriffs of this small town who start to kind of deal with a zombie pandemic as it's breaking out in their town. So it's really funny the way they handle it and everything else. But like I said, just be warned on
So
that.
this is not Zombieland.
Not Zombieland. That's coming out in a few weeks.
Speaking of like death,
Uh-huh.
I just realized who Adam Driver looks like. He looks like Israel Keys. Have you ever heard of that guy? He's a
I have
serial
not.
killer.
Oh,
You should
gosh.
look it up. But he
Wow.
looks like him like a lot.
Why do you know the first and last
He knows
name
a
of the
serial killer. knows
I
people
listened to a
with
lot of
14-foot
like serial
catheters.
killer crime podcasts.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that.
I did.
Huh.
He looks like him a lot. I'll show you.
Weird. All right. Getting into my second movie review, we have Anna, which is basically in my opinion, like the female John Wick. And when I saw the trailers, and if anyone else has seen them, you know what I'm talking about. It's like her walking into a restaurant, and she goes to, I guess, like assassinate like this leading mob boss or whatever. And it just breaks out into this whole crazy fight action scene where she's like, taking on all of the dudes, hired hands as bodyguards. Oh, that does look like Adam Driver. At least a little bit. I don't know about a lot, but
It's
a little
the
bit.
neck.
The neck.
The neck.
It's the neck.
But yeah, so yeah, it was advertised as this like crazy thing, like I said, like John Wick, to where it's like you're gonna get this just action-packed thing with just basically a female lead character, which I was like all on board for. A little bit of a letdown. It's more like spy thriller with a little bit of action mixed in. But still overall a good movie. Another few notable characters in that one as well. You have, excuse me, what are you doing on my phone?
I was gonna put chapstick on it.
It looked a little dry.
Don't do it, jerk. But yeah, so a few notable characters. You have Sasha Luss as the lead character, lead actress, Anna. You have Cillian Murphy as Lenny Miller. He's I believe a CIA operative in the movie. And then Luke Evans, who's in Dracula, Dracula Untold, and a few other big name movies. He's Alex Chekhov. He's playing kind of like what's the Russian like secret service organization? You know what I'm talking about? Like
KGB.
KGB.
yeah.
I believe he's a KGB agent. Yeah, so it's kind of fun to see it all play out. Like there is good it's a good plot, good storyline.
This one has Macaulay Culkin in it, right?
I know. No,
that
what
the
are you
Home
talking
Alone
about?
boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Home Alone boy. I don't know why he's thinking he's in there though. But yeah, so
That
more
guy
of a
looks like
more
a
of a spy
crackhead.
thriller, not a full blown action movie. So there's that. And both movies will probably have language warnings. I don't remember anything as well. No, okay. Anna will have a few like adult scenes. I don't think anything's actually shown, but just be warned on that. I don't believe the Dead Don't Die has any kind of sexual content, anything too much. Just maybe language jokes here and there. But yeah, just content warning for those of you listeners who may be interested in these movies.
Yeah, Dylan's our trigger warning guy.
Yeah, like if
I probably wouldn't say any of that. I'd be like,
you
surprise.
just like, good movie, yeah, great, and then someone goes, oh,
Yeah, how dare you
gets all
recommend
taken
that?
aback. I know. I could go see a lot of movies. Some of them are like a little too crass, and like I have been like just why did I watch that kind of thing? But for the most part, it's like they're not, as long as they're not just like F. Like I don't think I've ever watched The Wolf of Wall Street. I know that has like the record, I think, for the most F bombs or something. Just like it just gets
movie's
it just gets ridiculous after a while. It's like, why? This is not necessary. I don't care what your creative director path you wanted to go on. Like, no, you're just an idiot. It's just too much. Like it doesn't need all that.
Yeah.
But so
I think that there should be a Home Alone revisited with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, except this
Dropping-
time he's the robber because he needs crack because he looks like a crackhead.
Not anymore.
Well,
he got back
he
on
did-
track.
he did.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
looking good again. Yeah.
good.
And I think they do actually. They had some kind of like YouTube video a while back where like he did do another Home Alone movie where it was like him as again the kid who's defending his house as people are
I
breaking into
saw
it.
they
sort
did
of
like
thing.
some sort of commercial with
Was it just a commercial? I thought it was maybe like a full blown.
or maybe a short film at the
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a
most.
long, lengthy thing, but yeah, maybe like 10 minutes or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but hey, listeners, check
But
it
I-
out. Call me out on my stuff.
I'm with you though. I remember seeing something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need more Macaulay Culkin dropping anvils on people's head at Christmas time.
Yeah, and not killing him somehow. But,
Yeah.
Oh man, me and Sarah were even talking about that the other day. How in Home Alone 2, where is it Marv? Yeah, because it's Marv and Harry. So Marv's the tall one, where he gets zapped by electricity in the
Yeah.
basement, and he's just it turns into a skeleton. It's
I
like,
love
oh
the
my gosh.
stupid, cheesy attempt
It's
at an
so-
effect. They just replace him with a skeleton.
It's so great, man.
skeleton with hair.
Because even as a kid, obviously you watch cartoons, Tom and Jerry, whatever else, and you see that happen to people. You see their skeleton light up or whatever, and I'm just like, they actually brought that into a live action movie. That's pretty friggin' hilarious.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
The corny effects, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you ever watch Wild Hogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
You
Wild
remember
Hogs.
where they're riding and then like somebody gets hit in the face with a bug and somebody gets hit in the face with another bug and he's
Right.
laughing and he gets hit by a crow.
Oh, John Travolta gets
and the
nailed.
stupid puppet crow that
Oh my
just
gosh.
looks dumb, but I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love those cheesy effects.
Yeah, they're great, man. The movies always have a place for those cheesy effects. Speaking of movies, guys, we need to plan out when the heck are we going to go see Joker together. The reason I ask is because, as we discussed earlier, we are all on different schedules. Like, Luke, you got school and work on weekends. Me and John have our usual, throughout the week work, and then occasionally I'll be working overtime on weekends. But we got to plan to do this so we can give the audience a great review of the movie and have all three of our perspectives on it, not prospectives.
Remind us again, when does that come out?
It comes out next week, October 4th.
Ooh.
So it's early. It's right around the corner, guys.
and join the podcast again, and we're back.
Yeah. Woo-hoo. All right. So if you don't already know, we just had to cut out some little bits here. Anyway,
we were planning.
Yeah, we were planning out some good times, but all for your benefit, in the long run. But and also big entertainment news to uplift spirits here. Spider-Man is back in the MCU.
Yes,
they got him, folks. All right. However, I am a little nervous because reading these articles, I'm super glad. I'm glad Tom Holland's back. I'm glad he's in the MCU. But Sony made a deal with Disney to where I believe they only have like one standalone movie and one crossover movie, and then it's kind of kaput again.
Yeah, but that buys us a lot of time.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, because in that time they could probably renegotiate.
Like, I'm not saying that there can't be potential for renegotiating, but the way I see it right now is that crossover movie could be, like I was talking about in other podcasts, Spidey joining up with Venom or them meeting each other kind of thing, as opposed to it being a Kevin Feige or whoever else in the MCU director making something good.
Feige?
Feige, whatever.
Kevin Feige.
Feige yogurt. I don't care.
Man, for such a movie Marvel fan, you should know that.
That's me not caring, folks. Anyway.
Is that you blinking?
Yeah. Like 9 times in an hour.
9 times in an hour.
But anyway. No, again, I'm a little cautious of it. I'm glad he's back. Like John said, there's plenty of room to renegotiate between now and then. I believe the next movie for Spider-Man is going to come out in 2021. I don't remember the month. But hopefully, again, because it's like it almost seems like they're going to have to like force a conclusion to his character, so that way Sony can then just get the rights back or whatever else. And that's where I'm like a little nervous still. Like it's like good news,
I'm
but
fine with
cautious.
I doubt they'll do that.
I love the little Trinity movie sections of different Spider-Mans. Mm-hmm. I like them. I enjoy it. You get a fresh new actor playing Spider-Man and a new director every like 6-7 years. No, I don't mind it at all.
We mind. I definitely.
Why
mind.
would you not mind that? That's like the whole problem with the Justice League.
Oh gosh.
Dude, nobody cares about DC.
Do you know why?
Because they keep changing
because
actors.
They reboot it every time.
Oh my
no,
gosh.
but like at least with Marvel, it's only the one character that's inconsistent.
But even well, I mean, technically, you have the Hulk that was inconsistent because they started with Edward Norton and then they switched to Mark Ruffalo.
Well, it was the same character, though.
Storyline, like.
But even still, or even with Terrence Phillip Howard, and then he got replaced by Don Cheadle.
Who are we talking about for what?
War Machine.
But again, same
movies.
character.
Yeah.
But still,
it's not
like,
being rebooted.
But it's still just different actor. It's like again, you're going for full reboot stuff that you don't like. I don't like reboots or necessarily like actor changes. I mean, granted, I love Mark Ruffalo. I love Don Cheadle. It still sucks that people.
You didn't
had to
like
be
it when they switched out Morgan Freeman for Robert Downey Jr.?
You're an idiot. I'm not even going to dignify that.
I'm pretty sure I read about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so again, just a little bit of nerve cautiousness going into the future with the MCU. But all that being said, Luke, is it time?
Is it time?
What might it be time for?
I think it's time for some sports.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy. All right, so here we are talking about some sports, and I just want to go over a few highlights last week because Luke, I not to stroke my own ego or whatever, but I listened to our podcast, right?
And I do too.
I do too.
I went back. Okay, I'm glad we're all in agreement on this. I went
Did
back.
you say stroke your own ego?
Is
that a saying?
Isn't that the
It is a saying.
Okay, yeah, I'm not alone on that. But anyway,
It's kind of weird, but it's
I'm stroking my ego. But anyway.
Oh, that's why it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you say it like that, I was trying to do it normal, and then you guys made me go there.
We
But
didn't,
anyway,
though. We really didn't.
You made me do it. You made me do it, John, with those beautiful eyes of yours. Anyway.
No, don't put me on your sexy guy list. I want no part of that.
All right, that's fine. I'm just kidding. John's
Now
a
you're
handsome.
calling me ugly?
John's a handsome man. I'm just busting his chops
John,
here.
you're just never satisfied. Don't put me on your handsome list. Don't think I'm ugly.
Oh, now you're insulting me. There's no winning with this guy.
I sound
All
like
right.
a woman.
So back to what I was originally getting to with the sports segment as we're kicking off here. I went back and listened, and I don't want to say I necessarily predicted, but I do think I called a lot of the crap that was going to happen, namely with the Eagles and Packers game. When I was listening to the podcast, I said I am not confident in the Packers defense and how they've been looking because they've got wins against bad teams. And sure enough, Carson Wentz goes in there, and I'm pretty sure they were still missing at least 1 or 2 starters on the offensive line and everything, or maybe not like the linemen, but the receivers and stuff. And sure enough, we got into a shootout, and the Eagles walked into the Lambeau and walked away with a win.
Take that, John.
Yeah, wow.
I'm sorry.
That's messed up.
That was mean, man.
I know. That's his poor Packers. He wouldn't be doing that. I mean, our Chargers suck anyway, but we'll see.
That's true.
But yeah, so I called it there, and then here's what's sad about the Browns Rams game is we were both right, Luke, with the Rams winning that game.
Yeah.
However, the Browns had every opportunity to win that game. They marched down the field so many times and had so many times to try to either convert on short yardage distance to convert red zone into points, and they failed miserably. Like, they had a chance to win it at the end of the game, and they just choked. Like, how do you have so many times in Baker Mayfield? Again, one of the things that people don't talk about, and even I failed to mention it too at the beginning of the season, when they got Odell Beckham and all these other receivers and stuff, they traded away a lot of their good linemen, and so therefore Baker doesn't have a lot of time to sit in the pocket and try to figure out where he's going to go with the ball. He has to try to get the ball out quickly, or he's going to get sacked, whatever else. But it's just like, even still, it's like I'm seeing him with at least a little bit of time to where he should be making these throws, making some good decisions to get points on the board, and he's just failing. Like, I don't know. Like, they definitely need to boost up that offensive line. I'm not gonna knock him for that. But at the same time, it's like, Baker, you got to be smarter with these throws. You got to be more accurate especially when you're like, you have the whole franchise resting on your shoulders. I'm not ready to call him an overrated quarterback or say that he's like crappy. But you got to start doing something, dude. You got to start winning these games for your team, for your fans, everybody. Like, what about you, Luke? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think converting on those short downs, that's kind of what separates the winners from the losers. Mm-hmm. And to say you lost because that, I mean, like, technically, yeah, that's correct, but that's the same with like every loser.
Right.
So I don't know if I would say that the Browns are unique in that, especially not in this game. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, he hasn't quite lived up to what we were hoping he would be yet.
No, not yet.
In that second half of last season, he was showing a lot of promise. It brought a lot of energy to the team. We thought, hey, maybe the Browns are going to be something next year.
It's because he had an offensive line, and now look what's happening.
Yeah, they're not quite something yet. And I don't know, have you seen those commercials where he's like taking care of the stadium?
Oh, yeah.
Grass? If he's not careful,
man,
that's going to be his job.
Yeah, Baker, we want you to have a long-lasting career in the NFL. We don't want you to just go out with these just terrible losses and end up getting benched or just dropped like, say Manziel or whoever else was there before you. But, again, we have high hopes for you. And again, I do love his cockiness and how like confident he is. Like, I think Rex Ryan recently in an article called him like overrated as hell or whatever. And Baker Mayfield's like, there's a reason why you're not on the sidelines anymore as a coach. Like, you suck too. Like, you suck, dude. Like,
yeah, Rex Ryan was overrated.
Yeah. So again, still rooting for you, Baker. Just give us something to root for, And in other good news, Luke, for our Bolts, Melvin Gordon is back. He returned to practice Thursday. Granted, he won't be playing this week against the Dolphins, but still good signs. So I'm hoping that, again, he can work something out with the team, the general managers, maybe get a contract extension, whatever else. But for the time being, he is back with us for the season. So I'm super excited, super stoked about that, because not that Eckler and Justin Jackson haven't been doing their part, because they've been holding down that run game for us. But now we got Gordon. It's going to be that much better.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. It's easy to be like, to continue holding negative feelings against him, like, he's just doing this because he can't get money.
Right.
But I think I'm going to choose to let him slide on this one. And I'll tell you why. I think he had a good reason for joining again.
Uh-huh.
He was watching these games, and he sees the Chargers struggling. He says, you know what? We put in all that work on the off season. I don't want to just stand here and watch this team not make it to the playoffs again.
Yeah.
So he's joining so that we can make the playoffs. I respect that. I wish he didn't hold out in the first place. But I'm hoping that him coming back is going to make a difference for our Chargers team. And, by the way, for my fantasy football team.
Yeah, you did draft him.
I held on to him, and now it's going to pay off, and I can't wait.
Yep, so only 4 weeks missed. That's not too bad. But speaking of being missed, we have to say goodbye to John right now. He's got some plans, like we said.
Oh, shoot. Is the wedding today?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
no, but I do have to go ask my nephew to be my ring bearer. That's where I'm headed.
The ring bearer?
How old is he?
He's going to be 2 in a few months.
Oh, that's adorable.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I almost had my nephew. I just think things didn't work out at the end. But
Aw.
yeah, again, congrats. So hopefully all the planning goes well for you in Savannah. And right now we bid you adieu.
all right. Have a good week, listeners. Enjoy the rest of our sports section. Good day.
We'll miss you, John.
And there he goes. There he goes. There he goes again. You don't know the song I'm getting to? No.
I know it.
Okay,
I just wanted to stare at you while you sang it.
Jerk. I'm putting my heart on the line for you, Luke, and you're just not.
That was
caring.
your heart?
I don't know, maybe my throat heart, but
Dude, that was not your heart.
no, I can definitely sing better than that. And, listeners at home or wherever you're at, maybe you're at your office desk because I know we get a lot of listeners there too. Ooh, before we forget, we still do have to come up with a catchphrase, so let's not forget that.
Catchphrase. What catchphrase?
How freaking dare you? All right, so anyway, getting back to sports, another thing that was announced this week, aside from Gordon's return to the Chargers, you have Jennifer Lawrence. J-Lo and Shakira are confirmed to be performing at the halftime show of this year's Super Bowl. Luke, what do you think about that?
I never watched the halftime.
Yeah, that's true. We
Single
usually
year,
go out and play football.
We go out and play football and
Yep.
bleed into like halfway through the third quarter.
Yep.
So I don't care at all who they have performing.
Yeah.
I know that some people are big fans of the halftime show, and those people half the time are quite disappointed.
This is true. Yeah, I know if they would have got a band, say like maybe Imagine Dragons or something that I'm more into, I'd probably sit in for the halftime show. No disrespect to these artists because I know Shakira's hips don't lie and she's still Jenny from the block. But they're never artists I really listen to. I mean, my sister I think would play them or occasionally through the house, but again, nothing against you guys, just not my thing. Like I said, me and Luke will probably still be playing football or just maybe eating more food.
For the tiny minority of those who would care, bring Snarky Puppy to the Super Bowl.
And
They didn't
done.
answer. Yeah,
Yeah. What is Snarky Puppy again?
they're a band.
Oh, okay. Well then. So, other few highlights before we get into our Week 5 predictions, Luke, because I know we talked about a few key games last podcast about this upcoming Week 4, but we'll get into Week 5 in a second. Right now, you have the Redskins, right? And they're sitting kind of ugly at a 1-2, and they've had some... No, are they? I think they're actually 0-3 right now.
The Redskins?
Yeah.
I thought they... Oh, no, you're right. They lost that first
they
game.
lost to the Cowboys. They lost the Eagles. And who was the last team they played? It was...
Wasn't the Broncos, was it?
No, it wasn't the Broncos. The Broncos played the Packers last week. That's what I was talking about, like them having a hard time with the Packers defense having a hard time with the Broncos.
Right.
But no, the Redskins are 0-3. So yeah, with Jay Gruden, he's the head coach of the Washington Redskins, and I believe since he became head coach, he's had a horrible losing record. Like I believe only like 30 wins and 40 losses, something like that, or if not more. Like so, a decrease on the wins, increase on the losses, and there is speculation that he could be fired this week if he loses another game. And honestly, if I'm a Redskins fan and I haven't seen much production out of Jay Gruden, I'm kind of with the whoever else, like the head, not the head coach, but the staffing and whoever else is in charge of that, like cutting him. I don't know who they'd get to replace him.
I don't know if I like the idea of cutting a coach mid-season.
I'm not saying it's good either, but I'm just saying like I wouldn't be against it if it happened.
I think, yeah, be worried about your job at the end of the season. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, for me, I don't like the idea of getting rid of a coach mid-season. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that's actually going to save your season?
Right. I mean, like, well, because the other thing they're speculating too is with they did the trade for Case Keenum or whatever. They have him as starting quarterback, and people are wondering, okay, well, we've had 0-3 losses. Are we going to start Haskins over him? And I know that's another possibility on the table to maybe save Jay Gruden's butt. If he is on the chopping block this week. But what I would like to think is that with Case Keenum, and like I think they've even talked about it in post game interviews, is just like this is a new offense and everything, so he's still making adjustments. But that being said, I mean Case Keenum had the one really bad game against the Bears where he just got demolished because his offensive line was letting Khalil Mack and everyone else come through for sacks giving.
Yeah,
pretty
3
much
interceptions.
Yeah, they were just destroying him, and that just again obviously him throwing interceptions, whatever else, like that's one thing. But in the other two games, it was pretty close against the Cowboys and the Eagles. Like the Eagles had to come back from a point deficit to come back and win the game. But Keenum was still putting up I want to say solid numbers, like at least over 200 yards and a couple touchdowns on top of it, if not more. So I don't think he's necessarily the problem. I think it could be with the coaching staff. That's why I don't have anything against Haskins. His performances during preseason weren't maybe necessarily the best, but I would still think that it is more something relying on the play calling at the sideline more so than Case Keenum's fault. Like something's not right. And I'm seeing Case Keenum put up good numbers, but then I'm seeing, and granted it goes hand in hand. So it's like a 50-50 thing with his numbers being that good. Is it all the quarterback? Is it all the coach? Or is it a little bit of both? But I don't know. I think Jay Gruden, considering he hasn't had Case Keenum and he's had other quarterbacks to work with and he's still not producing wins for the team, that's what leads me to believe that it's more so his head on the block, not Case Keenum being benched.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because Case Keenum has a lot of pressure. They drafted Dwayne Haskins in the first round of the draft. Whenever you have a first round quarterback, the fans are just like, we want to see this guy,
Right, yeah, and there is anticipation for that.
So I don't know. It's tough because like you want to win games, but you also want to keep fans interested. I don't know. I think I would be more in favor of trying out Dwayne Haskins. But you're right. The ultimate blame might be on Gruden. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, so best of luck to you Redskins fans and Redskins players. Maybe you guys can start making some tough competitions for the NFC East, because that's a pretty stacked division. The Eagles just pulled off a tough win on Lambeau, and the Cowboys are still undefeated, although be it against some crappy teams.
Yeah,
the Redskins being one of them.
Yeah,
but all right, and moving on from that, Jay Gruden, hope you all the best, but we'll see what happens there.
Good luck, man.
All right, so we're gonna get into our Week 5 predictions. And I guess I'll say one last thing before we go into Week 5. I swear the Chargers better freaking win tomorrow in Miami, because there's another thing I talked about. The Chargers have a way of choking, and I know they were up ahead last week, and whenever they get a 10-point lead, they just put on the easy, what's the word I'm looking for? Cruise control. There we go. Cruise control on their driving and everything. They don't try to score points. It's like, guys, come on, get something together. Like, put together a scoring drive, and they just they choke.
Yeah.
So we ended up losing to the Texans last week, and granted, it's still early in the season. We're only 1-2, like a lot of teams, but still, it's a devastating loss when you're at home, you have a lead, and you lose it and don't even score any more points on top of it. It's like I don't know. They disappoint me, man. And again, I know when we place teams that are defeated, like I mentioned in the other podcast, we have a chance to give them their first win, and we usually do. So, not too happy about that. Chargers, you better freaking pull out a W in Miami.
Yeah, did we win, guys? You're listening to this after the game. Did we win?
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully.
We
Please.
Better. All right. Week 5 predictions. So, again, not going through all, 10, 15 matchups. We're going to go through the few crucial games that I think will be great. So, starting off next Thursday, after we just had an awesome, exciting game with the Eagles and Packers, we have the Rams versus Seahawks. Divisional rivalry. Both teams sitting pretty. The Rams obviously have the better record of 3-0 to the 2-1 at the Seahawks, but I think I give a slight edge to the Seahawks. I believe they're playing at Seattle, and I always trust Russell Wilson more than I trust Jared Goff, because Jared Goff, although the Rams have been getting these wins, he's not looking too good. Like, I'm seeing a lot of just kind of like good, decent yardage maybe, and then like only one touchdown to a few interceptions and stuff. I'm not liking his performances right now, honestly. I honestly think that the Rams are sneaking by on their wins.
I trust Russell Wilson more than most quarterbacks.
Exactly.
But the Seahawks just lost to the Saints.
But the Saints still have a solid defense. The Saints have a solid defense, and Teddy Bridgewater is the highest paid backup for a reason, and I think he proved it last week.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Rams are better than the Saints. And I think the Rams are going to come away with the win.
The crucial deciding factor is going to be what Jared Goff decides to show up at that game, because I know the Seahawks don't necessarily have the Legion of Boom. Well, they don't have the Legion of Boom anymore, so they're not necessarily a strong defensive team. But again, I still trust, if we're going quarterback versus quarterback, I'd put my faith in Russell Wilson right now.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I think the Rams are an overall better team. And I think that's why they win consistently. They're pretty well-rounded. They got a decent defense, decent offense, and together it makes it pretty hard to beat them on any given day.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're a team to sleep on by any means. Just I'm still going with the Seahawks as my pick for that one.
I'll pick with the Rams.
Pick with them. All right. Next game, we have the Jags versus Panthers, the battle of the big cats.
Ooh. That's a tough one because both of them are underwhelming, but you wonder how underwhelming are the Jags? Are they truly underwhelming? Or are they on the uprise here?
The Jags had a huge victory over the Tennessee Titans not a couple Thursdays back, but whenever. They beat them handily.
Which is insane.
Yeah, and you have Gardner Minshew and who's the starting one for is it not Josh Allen, but there's another starting quarterback for the Panthers right now because Cam's out with injuries, and he performed pretty great too. I mean, Daniel Jones had a big week last week, but this guy also, I want to say, had 4 touchdowns plus all his yardage and everything. So I think that this is going to be a great matchup. I'd say this will be another shootout, another game to watch. Hopefully they televise it. I just don't know if they will on our West Coast games because it's Jags and Panthers. That's all other side of the country. But if they do, great game to watch. So definitely, if you have NFL Network Pass or something, go watch that game because I think that'll be one to definitely pay attention to this week.
Yeah, and how many quarterbacks out there still have a mustache?
Oh, dude, his mustache, Uncle Rico, man. Everyone calling him that. But yeah, so he's a great quarterback, and hope for the best for both of them going forward with the franchises. Next game, Falcons versus Texans.
Texans.
Yeah, I would definitely lean with the Texans as well. Oh, so who do you pick for the Jags and Panthers? I think I would give a slight edge to the Jags. I think they have a better defense.
Yeah, the Panthers, they're pretty hit and miss. I think they're going to miss.
Well, again, that was with Cam at the helm, and again, he was kind of playing sloppy,
That's why it's so unpredictable. Like we have 2 quarterbacks now that are leading the teams with virtually no experience.
Right, and they're doing great though. So it's like
so far, it's like what, 2 games?
Well, even still though, I mean, for the numbers they're putting up, it's
hard to say anything definitively because it's like when Jimmy Garoppolo plays,
right?
Like he's played a lot of games, but at the same time, how many in a row has he won? I don't know. He's had some good seasons, but is he good?
Right.
I don't know. He might be. There's just not enough information there yet.
Yeah. So TBD, but. So, again, getting back to the Falcons-Texans, I do think the Texans will have the win here because you're talking about teams playing inconsistently. I think the Falcons are definitely one of those because they go from decimating the Eagles and giving an upset loss in Atlanta and beating them with that last-second Julio Jones touchdown or whatever, but then they just get outperformed like every other week, and it's like, I don't know what's not clicking. Like, how do you guys have it together one week and the next you're just like everything basically went out the window? I don't know. So I think I'll definitely be pulling for the Texans as well, though, because I think the AFC South is another good division to watch for. And Deshaun Watson, you beat us, so hey, I'm hoping for the best. If you guys
Deshaun Watson, he's the kind of guy that knows how to finish a game. The Chargers don't know how to finish a game. Deshaun Watson does. He's good at just pushing until the very end, and he's the kind of guy that can come back. From almost whatever deficit it seems.
Yeah, even when he plays Brady, the few times they've done it, they get into shootouts, man. Like he puts up numbers. So that'll be something to look out for. Next game we have is the Broncos versus Chargers. This is another one. This will be at not at San Diego, at Los Angeles. And once again, it's another game. I hope that the Chargers win, but we'll see what happens because if we're playing a defeated team, we could easily give them a win.
Yeah, it's again, we should win this game.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's not playing good right now. Like Broncos fans, I'm sorry. Like
he's not even playing well.
No, he's not. And so it's just like if we let them come into our stadium, and granted, we don't really have a home game at any point in the season because we always get outpacked by other fans, even if they're East Coast teams.
Yeah.
But it's just like, come on, guys, you better freaking pull out these wins. It's like if we want any chance of making a playoff run, even a wild card spot, we need to at least be 10-6. And I don't see that happening if we're just going to keep choking and giving these games away.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough, but that's going to be our first game with Melvin Gordon.
Yep. So that should be solid. Should be a great game to watch. Should be something that we can pull out a win with. But
yeah, we've definitely got the tools to do it. We should have the advantage, and we should win. So I'm going to choose the Chargers.
Yep. All right. Moving on to Packers versus Cowboys. I believe that's actually is it the Sunday night game? If it's not the Sunday night, it's at least another game to highlight because, like I said, these are all good matchups, so they're all ones to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Packers on this one. I think that the Packers overall are just a better team. They got those cheeseheads in the audience. They got their slick green and white jerseys with their yellow helmets.
Oh, yeah.
They're just better than the Cowboys. And the Cowboys, I don't even know anybody on their team. They got no names. I don't know. I know I'm being brutal right now, but come on. When was the last time the Cowboys won a game?
I don't know, man. You mean despite the fact that they're 3-0 currently?
They don't even have any fans.
No, yeah, not at all. Not at all. They're definitely not America's team. That's never happened.
Of course the Cowboys are going to win.
Yeah.
Guys, stop freaking out. Hopefully you didn't turn off the podcast.
He's just
yet.
busting some chops. If you could see his face, you could tell he's definitely speaking sarcastically. He's just messing with you guys.
Cowboys fans sometimes have the potential to be quite annoying. So I figured I'd have a little bit of fun with you guys this week. So
yeah,
hopefully you're still listening at this point. But the Cowboys should win this game.
Yeah.
They're looking pretty good. Dak Prescott paired up with Ezekiel Elliott. He always plays better with him.
Right.
And it's showing right now. Dak Prescott is looking actually quite good.
Yeah, Dak's like, I believe, top 5 right now in quarterbacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and in all fairness, they have beaten 3 not so great teams.
Yes, this is what I told some of my other Cowboy fan friends is, yeah, you guys are undefeated. That's great, but you played the 3 worst teams in the NFL, so you better pull out wins against them. You know, so
it's
just
okay
like,
because the Packers are also a not so great team, so I think they should still win.
yeah, like that's unless Aaron Rodgers decides to turn it up. Are they playing? I think they are playing in Jerry World, so they'll be at Dallas for this game. But you know, again, Aaron Rodgers had that time left on the clock and still marched down for the touchdown and everything to take the lead, I believe, at the half, and then also, or at least give them the win, and then they got the field goal for the win at the last time they played each other. So it'll be it'll be like a grudge match, man. So it'll
come down to another Hail Mary,
dude. And Aaron Rodgers is the Hail Mary king.
I can't believe he's like 4 out of 5 on Hail Marys.
Yeah, I don't know how you get that. I mean, granted, he's got great receivers, but even still, it's just like there. Obviously, when it's consistently him at quarterback and different receivers every time, there's something going on with Aaron Rodgers. He's just good at Hail Marys.
What the heck, man?
Yeah, so definitely another great game to watch. Tune in for that. And then the last one I have is Colts versus Chiefs. Now, I know this seems like it'll be a runaway for the Chiefs, and I'm not saying that it won't be. But the Colts are still pretty solid, even without Andrew Luck. Jacoby Brissett has filled that position at quarterback fairly well. And I don't know. I think this could be an upset game if the Chiefs take them too calmly. I mean, like, I don't know, man. The Colts defense is solid. Like, and I know the Chiefs offense is great. But when you compare the other side of the coin, you have the Colts offense versus the Chiefs defense. That's their Achilles heel. Like, they're not the best on defense with the Chiefs. You know, they put all their players, all their time, their energy into the offense, and so they can bury you in a high-scoring game. But if you can keep answering back and maybe get a couple turnovers here and there, that could easily get you the win against the Chiefs.
Have you ever seen Patrick Mahomes, his right foot?
No.
It's made out of lead, and it never takes. He's not able to lift it off the gas pedal.
Well, look, I'm not saying.
And that's why I think. That's why I almost always bet on the Chiefs.
And I'm not saying I'm picking the Colts to win. I'm just saying that they could give an upset if the Chiefs don't take them seriously.
Yeah, I'll give you that the Colts are probably better than most people would think. They've done surprisingly well without Andrew Luck. But are they going to beat the Chiefs? No. They didn't beat us, and we're not.
We got lucky is what we got, all right? They still sent the game into overtime, and we just happened to get the ball and march down the field.
Yeah, but we won. Like, who cares how it happened? We beat them.
Yeah, that's another thing we can discuss another time. I want to get into like the overtime regulation rules, but anyway, we won't go into it right now. But like I said, I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. Even though he's in our division, he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. You look at the numbers; he's got more touchdowns, way more yardage.
Game.
The dude puts, and they don't even have Tyreek Hill yet. They're missing some of their core starters as well on offense, and he's still getting the job done handily. It's not even close, man. That's why I fear. That's why I said at the beginning of this podcast or episodes back, I don't see us winning the division because freaking Patrick Mahomes, man, he's too good.
Yeah, we kind of have to just hope that somebody beats them in the playoffs, and we as a wild card team just kind of sneak by into the Super Bowl.
For the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to be, are you playing the Chiefs or the Patriots in the divisional round? Because if Tom Brady doesn't retire, he's still playing great. Like we can't get past either one of them. So that's why I don't like our chances at the Chargers. But
yeah, if we ever do, it's going to be pretty sneaky. It's going to be like, what, the Chargers, the wild
actually
card
got to
team
win
out of nowhere, they are going to the Super Bowl. What?
Yeah,
it's going to be pretty sneaky.
We'll see what happens. But anyway, with all that being said, I think it's time for us to wrap up this episode, and I hope it was a good one. Episode 10 in the books.
Episode 10, one to remember, and like we said, look forward for more and new content in the future. And I guess for now, we'll say goodbye, and we look forward to talking to you guys next week.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.